welcome to another episode of Drilling Deeper. My name is Christina and we are here in front of the Geology display at the Oil Museum of Canada. This Geology display shows a cross-section of the ground beneath our feet here. It represents 1,400 meters of mostly Paleozoic lithography. That term refers to the time period which this rock represents, and lithography means the layers of rock. And part of that is the study of stratigraphy. Stratigraphy means layers of rock, and it's the study of layers of rock, mostly focused on sedimentary rock. So you can see here, this is the cross section, and we're going to focus mostly on this area right here. This is where the oil comes from out of the ground in oil springs. So in 1858, James Miller Williams came here and he dug that first commercial oil well. It was only 14 feet deep, or approximately 4 meters, and it would be represented on this cross section as the thickness of a penny right here at the surface. Today, we extract the oil here in oil springs from a depth of 380 feet, or approximately 115 meters. This comes out of the Devonian rock layer and the Dundee Formation. We use these terms, these are the terms that geologists used and have labeled to identify the different periods of rock. We refer to rock as in time periods of when they were developed, and this goes back to the geologic history of the area. So why is the oil here? Well, you have to understand approximately 350 million years ago, this area produced the oil in a freshwater sea. Over time, that oil migrated through the rock. Now, rock is not as solid as you may think. We have two types of rock. We have permeable rock, which means that this permeable rock has pores in it. So it has little holes and pores. This is known as the porosity of the rock. And it allows liquids, such as fluids of gas, water, or oil, to travel through it. The oil, water, or natural gas will travel through the rock till it gets to a layer of impermeable rock. So we have impermeable rocks. This is rock that doesn't have many pores in it and basically prevents the oil from migrating any further. It will become trapped and pooled under this rock layer, commonly referred to as a cap rock. So when we are looking for oil, we're going to look, as geologists, at the stratigraphy of this cross-section of the earth and figure out where is the permeable rock where the oil may migrate through, and where is the impermeable rock where the oil may be trapped underneath it. And that is what geologists do. They are going to look for those key clues of permeable or impermeable rock in a sedimentary basin to find, are there pockets of oil or natural gas. Now, in this area, you can see we have it highlighted where the oil and natural gas is extracted from. So today, we use many modern different methods to extract oil and gas out of the ground. Historically, the way that this area was identified was that there is a fault line. So there's a fault line that runs from Point Pelee to Kettle Point. This fault line cracked that cap rock and allowed that oil and natural gas to migrate to the surface and pool on the ground. This formed the gum beds. The gum beds were initially harvested by the indigenous populations of this area, and later they were documented by the Canadian Geologic Commission in the Logan Report of 1842. This allowed for a more commercial expansion by European settlers. But this area has been an active geologic site for millennium. And if you're looking for more information, I encourage you to take a look at our previous video on this Drilling Deeper series, where we talk about how the earth made oil. And today we looked at the geologic stratigraphy of where you find oil here in oil springs at the Oil Museum of Canada.